Hello.
Goblin time. It's goblin time.
Okay, all right. Let's start this again. We are live, remember. Okay, yes, it's Goblin time. Please welcome a legend in the Kink community from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. You're in Fort Worth or just Dallas?
I'm actually in Denton. And so
Oh,
I'm up
let's
Denton.
just say
So
Texas.
we're
We've been
Texas. We
talking.
are
We
everywhere.
we've been talking to a lot of people from Texas. The magnificent Nico Noir is from Texas. Carly DeVille is
Yeah.
from Texas. Jennifer, Mistress Jennifer, a friend of the show, is from Texas. And the Commandant is in Texas. We're going to talk about events, but we're going to talk about wax play. We're going to talk to Director Jez. Director Jez, say hi.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by. I had everything explode on my end, so I had to just, do some things real quick. And that's kind of what happens when you're a goblin. Things just go weird and you got to figure it out. So this is what I do. Things go weird and we figure it out. And now I'm here.
That's life. That's
Yeah,
life. I was
that's
talking to
life.
someone today. Had a very deep conversation with them. Is contemplating suicide 6 years ago, and he goes, "The key to life is to continue." And that's what we have to do. We have to continue, right? And that's what we do. We
Yeah.
continue on. Let's
Continue.
do
The
it.
show must go on. The show must go on.
Stan
Good
Vladimir says
evening. Good
evening,
evening.
Director
Good
Jezebelle. So I'm going
evening,
to start
Stan
it.
Vladimir.
Just
Yes.
so you know, I could take myself
Yeah.
and I could put myself back in. So,
Boop.
Director Jez, tell us what's inspiring you these days.
So, I've been thinking about this, and what's really been inspiring me is my community and the people that have surrounded themselves around me. Like I am one person, and in this person I do a lot, and I can facilitate a lot, and I can, roll with the best of them. But it doesn't matter if there's no one there to enjoy it with. I call it my plateau of awesome, because a mountain peak of success, that's super lonely. Like, what are you fucking doing? Sorry. But the the plateau of awesome is just where it's at. Because if I don't know
Nice.
it, somebody else does.
I like that. The plateau of awesome.
The plateau of awesome, baby.
Nice. So, what's it like being a goblin?
Oh, this that howdy commandant. Um,
Hello,
it's
Commandant.
it's
The
it's a lot
magnificent
like
Commandant.
that. The
Oh, hail.
magnificent commandant. Being a goblin is, to me, what I've been defining it as is just finding out who you are and going after it with all that passion. All that passion. Like, what does a goblin do? What is you think of all the lore of different goblins throughout different representations, and it's all they have like a single-minded focus and a single-minded drive almost. And it's like you get locked on and you're just going. You're getting what you want.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
that's goblining.
since were you always a goblin, or did you become a goblin?
I became a goblin. I was actually I'm August 22nd, 2024 will be 4 years sober. So I spent
Congratulations.
10 thank you. Thank you very much. I spent about 10 years an alcohol addict doing no growing, and I really figured out like who I was, because I was trying to live for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess inside I was always the goblin was always there, but just never able to come out until recently. So I'm still getting to kind of, you know, feel it out. Yeah, and feel
I
out
had a
the
I had a
costume.
major I had a major alcohol problem, so much that I had a liver transplant 2 years ago.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So kink really saved my life, and
Hmm.
especially when it comes to sobriety. Now, I engage in medical marijuana, medical
Oh,
cannabis,
for
but
sure.
I don't drink. I don't drink at all.
Nope, me
So let
neither.
me ask you straight out: has kink how has kink helped you with your sobriety? And I don't mean just like in general. I mean like in the little things, in little ways. How has kink helped you in your sobriety?
It's given me focus. It's given me something to live for because in the partnership that I have in my collar, I am free and I can be myself. And it's like it's that level of acceptance and that level of love from somebody was able to just set me free. And I find joy in so much from being a service sub to switching to having being the director. And it just it gives me something to chew on.
Yeah,
So
I know. I understand that feeling too. Especially like with me, I was drowning myself in alcohol just to kind of get through the day. I guess get through just
yeah,
life, and there's also the confidence issue. It gives you confidence, makes you not care, stuff like that. Whereas
makes you
weed
not
just kind of,
care.
yeah. Whereas weed just kind of puts things into perspective a little different. You know what I mean? But with alcohol, it leads to dangerous and careless, reckless behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
Without naming names or getting into trouble, what are some lessons that you've learned, especially with by not mixing alcohol with kink? Or
Well, just from personal experience, I know that it's not really safe to do because then once it gets into a certain part, it just turns into self-harm. You're just harming yourself with these
yeah,
actions. So that's I mean, that was my experience and not knowing the boundaries and people taking advantage of those me not knowing those boundaries and just getting to a point where I was not okay. And just it's very it takes away your ability to really comprehend.
hmm
And
it
so
also it numbs you.
it does. And so it prevents you from feeling all sorts of different pains and it can lead to further injury. You can go harder than you want to. And then
hmm
you need to go to the hospital. And they're going to be like, "What were you doing?" And you, well, uh, so
Yeah, that
it's,
Yankee Candle ended up somewhere. You know?
ah, don't use Yankee candles, please. On the topic
Okay.
of wax, there's
Yeah,
a
we'll
segue.
talk about wax. Let's cheer things up and all through this because I think your story is important. I struggled
Thank
with
you.
addiction myself. I struggled with alcoholism to the point where I needed
Yeah.
a liver transplant. Obviously my body didn't want it. It's hard. It's difficult to get through, and people feel hopeless, especially if they know they have to quit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there's no hope. So, is
It's
there
so
hope?
hard.
Please
Yes.
tell them there's hope. Give us some sign. We'll get back to the.
Good. Okay. Okay. Good grief. It was so hard. Like I'm gonna be straight up fucking honest with you. It was the hardest thing I ever done. I turned into goo. It is the literal like caterpillar, goo, butterfly, but you will turn into that butterfly. Once you get all that poison out of your system and once you find those better coping mechanisms, then things start falling into place.
I
And
look at
it's
it this
just
way: the things we can do when we're not using alcohol as a crutch. We
mhm.
can be incredibly kinky. It's so like because you're not worried
So
about
what I've
alcohol.
Look what I've done in 3 years, almost
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
Yeah. So I've managed to do things that I never thought I would be able to do
yeah. The
through
things I was
kink,
able to
through
accomplish
BDSM.
by the things that I was able to accomplish by sobering up, at least sobering up enough to handle my control. Like I said, I still dabble with cannabis, but
Of
no
course.
heroin, no cocaine, no alcohol. All right, let's get to things. So, how do goblins have sex differently from humans?
Well, it's I really put on more of a fox when I am engaging. Just because I like the animal and I'm curious like a fox.
Yeah,
And I'm also pretty rabid too sometimes. I once I get that bit in my teeth, arr, I'll be going. But we just it's about loving yourself, and I'm just so
Yeah.
accepting of myself and the people that I'm with, and it's about the experience, not who it's less it is who you're with, but it's more about taking people through journeys, I think, for me.
I think when it comes to being submissive, that's the beauty of it. Like that's the high of it is you're not only pleasing somebody, but like you almost feel like you have a purpose in life when, especially when you complete that goal that you achieve, that
Oh,
you're, you know what I
yes.
mean? It's absolutely incredible. Let's take some comments. The
Yeah.
commandant, Jez is rabid like 99%, 99.99% of the time. Don't lie to you.
Don't let them lie to you.
This
Arr.
was said with love. And of course, Stan Vladimir says, what are your personal favorite kinks that you like to explore with your clients or subs or doms or
when I'm in a submissive state, I personally love a lot of like bondage and a lot of like uplifting degradation, if that makes sense. You're my favorite whore. You're my favorite one, you know?
I like that. Uplifting degradation. Yeah, it's cool.
It's like, yeah, you're bottom of the barrel, but you're my favorite bottom of the barrel little slut, aren't you? You know, like this stuff like that. It
It's
just
great. It's so nice because it makes it kind of it's like the lube of insults, you know,
right,
like
right. Yeah, because when Sir
the
gets
creative
me and
writing,
I'm
this
just
the
like,
sandwich.
right, and he just, says, "You're my favorite just little doll. You're my favorite hole," and I'm just like, "Huh," and is that. And then when I'm topping, I really enjoy sadism.
Okay.
Um, I very much love an impact session,
When you're
and
topping. Okay.
yeah, when I'm topping, I very much love an impact session from the top, and then because I know how much good it feels from the bottom.
Right? Yeah. I was watching this movie called Preaching to the Perverted. Did you ever see it?
I haven't, but
Oh,
please send me information, and I
oh
will
yeah, I'll
definitely
send
add
you.
it to my
It's
education.
great. There's a it's about this woman named Tanya Cheeks who has this American woman who's in Britain has this femdom empire. It's awesome. It's amazing
Awesome.
movie. Excited to see. And her sub is extremely obedient, extremely like is a pain slut, but also has her own sub, and she constantly has to be like reprimanded the middle sub, the one in the middle, for being too
Right.
hard on the sub that's all the way low on the totem pole. And I always thought that was an interesting dynamic. How you say you liked because you say you're a switch, correct? That you bottom and you
Yes,
top as well. So how do
I
you
do.
find that balance?
Personally, I don't switch with my sir. We are a strict, he is dominant and I am submissive, and I am happy that way. I wear his collar proudly, but I am still also free to make my own connections. I am still also free to be my own person because that's who authentically I am, is me. And so if I want to put another collar on, my houseboy and, order him around and make him do my chores, beat him, beat him up and then send him home, that's totally my prerogative.
That is absolutely beautiful. How I mean, for everyone out there who just only fantasizes something like this, how does this happen? How did you set this up? How did you meet?
I met my sir about 5 years ago, and it was online. Um, we were part of the same little online space, and we started talking, and I invited him out to a music show. We ended up not watching the music at all, just flirting the entire night. And then that from there, we were just friends who kind of hooked up every 2 weeks or so, to building a full dynamic and building a full relationship and building just this wonderful foundation onto what we built our house on and what my collar stands for to me. And then with my houseboy, he filled out a Google form.
I'll do it. See, work is out there, people.
I put out hey, I might be thinking about taking a house up. And then he was in my inbox. And I was like, I'm not even finished making the Google form, buddy. Hold on. And I send
Okay,
it to him. Yes, what?
so wait, okay, take us through it. You sent him the form, and then what happened? So
So
he
I
filled
sent
it
him the
out.
form. He fills it out and I reviewed the answers. And then we went and we met at a coffee shop and we had an in-person interview. And we sat away from, the rest of the people. We sat outside where there was nobody else for a little bit of discretion. And we had a face-to-face conversation. And in
So
that, you know, I was able to determine if he would actually like mesh well with me instead of just saying that over online and then he comes into my home because that's not
mhm,
going to happen because
yeah,
safety.
of course.
I have a ch- I am a parent, so um, balance and everything. Uh,
So was there a moment like, okay, you met this person online, you filled out a form on Google Maps, and you met them in person. What was the moment where you're like, oh, I think we got something here? You know what I mean? What was the thing? Was it the way they spoke? Was it from the beginning? Was it into
It
the
was, yeah,
conversation?
it
Was
was
it the end?
definitely from the beginning. It was definitely from the beginning because the way houseboy approached me was very respectful. He was like he just kind of was like, "Hey, I noticed you were asking about this. I am interested. Please let me know." And guess what? I let him know what I wanted, and he was like, "Yes, I will do that for you because I want to be a service sub." It's not about you don't go into somebody's inbox being like, "I'll do anything for you," but it's only what you want to do.
Yeah, a lot of people get that. No, no, no.
He was very eloquent. He was very thoughtful in the Google form because I asked some questions that I threw in some loopholes and some curveballs about personality. And I just want to, you know, get up here because this is the biggest sex organ,
Yes.
your brain. It's all up here. I want to be able to have a conversation with somebody. I want to be able
Hmm.
to sit down and be like, look, this is kind of what's happening around us. Do you understand? Do you understand some of the bigger things that are at play here and what we're engaging in? Do you like, you know, make like I'm a queer non-binary person and apparently that's, bad for some people.
No, not the cool people.
Not the cool people. No, we're the cool kids over here. But you can't like there's issues that are beyond us. But
The infinite
hey,
possibilities says, I've been
infinite
looking,
possibility.
but I'm here. Okay.
Thank you, love. You're welcome to lurk. You're welcome to lurk, baby. We're just sitting here chilling.
Okay. Before
Um,
we didn't even
yes,
start the interview, we still got questions. Stan
yes.
Vladimir, we're going to kick it off. All right. Kick it off with the Stan question. Stan, shout out to Stan Vladimir. This man is awesome. Doms, be good to this man. Stan Vladimir asks, if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it in your kink?
I would just be poison ivy, and I would want to have control over all of the plants. And then I would use it to, like restrain people and all sorts of fun things. All sorts of fun
There,
things.
there is a whole. I knew some people who had a garden kink, a gardening kink, where they bury their subs up to their heads. You know what I mean? And like water and
Oh,
stuff.
wait. No, seriously, that sounds so good though. Oh, return me to the earth. Sorry. I was a sustainable landscaper for 4 years. Plants really get me going.
Right?
Yes, we did full model like renovations. We moved thousands of pounds of stone all by hand. And this is what you signed
Oh,
up for.
speaking up to shout out to the Lady Ascends. I, if you're still out there, I hope that you're still running around in the woods chasing after naked men with knives.
Oh,
Shout out to
that sounds beautiful.
shout out to her. Out there. Let's
Please.
talk about Kinkify. Please tell us all
Yeah.
about Kinkify. What is
Oh my
Kinkify?
God. Kinkify was something that I wanted after going to a couple of kink events around my locale, and just there was a lot of alcohol usage because they were at social houses. You can't go to hold an event at a social house and then be like, "Don't drink." Like, that kinda goes like, you gotta be there for the venue. Like, I understand it, but I wanted something just a little different because I felt unsafe around alcohol, um, just because it's not safe for me, and I wanna be able to, when I'm kinking, be able to let go and not worry about it, you know? And so Kinkify was born from a need and a want to have a space where I could have my shopping and the presentations and demos and a full dungeon and just having that evening, that night of entertainment and camaraderie. I wanted that so bad. So I
So what happened?
just, I got with a venue in my town and I was like, "Are you okay with hosting something like this?" And they said, "Yes, I guess. We'll see how it goes." And I met up with, I had met up with the commandant actually, um, and I asked them to also help me because they were at the last kink event that I had been to, and we became friends there. Um, and so I reached out again and I was like, "Hey, I wanna do this thing. Do you wanna help?" And together with some of my community, we were able to get, like, tickets going. We made it happen. It didn't I put a lot into that. I put a lot into that, but it went off. And then we had a second one. And so it's something I know we can do, and I know we can bring it again. And it just I love it so much. It's my safe space, it's my baby. It's my love letter to the kink community.
The commandant says they were selling candles. I was smacking ass all at the taco shop.
All at a taco shop. Yeah, it was in a taco it's a taco shop, it was a taco shop music venue, and
This
they
event was at
decided
a
to
taco
hold.
shop, by the way.
Yes, yes, it was. It was a music venue taco shop, and they had, like, all these, punk bands and stuff roll through all the time, and they decided to have a kink night, and so I decided to take my candles.
Okay, we're gonna get to the candles. We're gonna get to the events, but I don't want to forget about music. First of all, you said that they had punk rock bands or they had bands. Any bands that stood out that you'd recommend?
Oh, I never really got the chance to go into, like, the local music scene because when I was getting sober, and I
Oh yeah.
avoided a lot of places that were, you know, like, tinged with alcohol. I had to change people, places, and things, so I am honestly the neurodivergent that likes to listen to the same old music over and over and over and over. So I stick with my favorites and just
What are your favorites?
Pearl Jam 10, the 10
Okay.
album from Pearl Jam, System of a Down. Um, I really like Sonata Arctica. Uh, they have a song about a werewolf. It's so cool.
All
Um,
right. You were selling. The commandant was saying that
yeah,
you were selling candles. That they were selling
uh-huh.
candles, and you are what, the owner of Waxing Moon Wicks.
I am the owner and founder of
Please
Waxing Moon Wicks too. Yes,
tell us all
I
about
do.
Waxing Wicks.
Waxing Moon Wicks is also a sobriety project. I started making candles in the early months of my sobriety. So I started a business. I wanted to sell little like witchy subscription boxes because I'm a very witchy person. I like my tarot cards. I like my crystals. Just leave me alone and let me do my thing. And I just I really liked it. I really liked messing with the wax. I really liked messing with the scents. I have a talent. And it just born from there. My initial ideas sold, so I was able to put money back into the business to expand and improve and learn. And I took all those lessons, and now here Waxing Moon Wicks is helping sponsor Kinkify and selling candles at like big conventions and stuff. So it's really been fun.
Infinite Possibility says witchy is fun. And also,
Yes.
the commandant says these candles are also amazing. I know I sound like the number one Jess fan, Dom, but fuck it, they are great. And the candles and the wearables are so good. They smell so good. So let's talk about candles.
Yeah.
I'm a romantic, right?
Oh,
I really am, and like I think candles add a lot to the scene,
I
regardless
do.
of what scene it is, any scene. Barry Lyndon, the whole movie was shot with real candlelight. Anyway, but so for you, what
Yeah.
do candles symbolize in the BDSM community?
Um, so the candle to me represents hope in a way. You have your little flame and and everything like that. And it has fuel and you can add more wax, you can add more fuel to keep that going, but it's not you are not an inexhaustible resource. So I think that reminds me, and I wanted to remind us that we are not an inexhaustible resource. And to remind yourself that as this flame burns down, you can burn down too. So take care of yourself.
Wise
And
words. Thank you, Director Jeff. Sunshine has a question. Can you buy these online? If so, where?
so if things go the way I want them to, yes, you will be able. I did have an online store and then I couldn't keep up with a lot of things and an online store, so I kind of had to shut it down for a little bit. But I am getting out to more local markets, and if there is a bigger push, then I can certainly try my online store again. But right now I'm just kind of taking a break.
Um, what's it? Infinite Possibilities says the candles are good. Can personally vouch. Just helped me make some custom wax melts in a scent combination I've never been able to find. So, what is it about scents that some people I know, for example, Sunshine, I love this woman. She said that she loves scents. I went out, went shopping just for this one scent. I went all over mall to mall, stuff like that. For the scent, what is it about scent? Not just the scent of the people, but the scent of candles. What is it about the olfactory senses that
Sense?
enhances BDSM so much?
It's up here. Sense and memory and emotion, how you feel is all linked. It's so linked together. And it's one of the things that I've really been experimenting with over the last 3 years is figuring out where to take people because you can journey somewhere else through your nose. If you have a good enough sniffer. Like my partner, my sir is nose blind. He cannot smell a
Oh
damn
no.
thing. He
Oh,
can't
sad.
smell any of my candles. He can't smell any of them. And, um, but I know they're good. He knows they're good. So it's very linked to scent. And scent is very linked to memory. It's very linked to, if you smell your grandma's perfume, you're gonna go back to memories of your grandma.
Of course, yeah.
So, I'm trying to actually make people sense and take
Like,
sense.
didn't Gwyneth Paltrow have a candle for Goop about her vagina, and it says like this candle smells like
This
my
candle
vagina?
smells like my vagina. Not quite like that, but like people oils. Like you
Hmm.
can like someone wears a shirt for a while, you can distill that in a high proof alcohol, let it sit for a while, and then you distill it down, and you would technically have a scent, an oil that you could mix with a mineral oil to make a candle fragrance. People scent.
So how do you, are there aphrodisiac scents? Are there scents that you put on that you know specifically will drive someone crazy?
Oh yeah.
Which
Oh
ones?
yeah. Oh, I know it's kind of cliche, but amber really does a lot. It's a very like it's full body, but it's melt in your mouth, kind of sweet, but it's sure to get something going. And then another one that I really like to put on is just like straight up leather. because we're all kinky around here
Yeah.
and we love the smell of leather.
The smell,
Like,
yeah.
um, amber and then any sort of musk. Musk is the universal, um, you can get just the straight, musk, and it adds that pheromone type of earthiness that a lot of people associate with, rutting bodies. So, it's just a it's just so neat how it all works together. Yeah, I did make a custom for the commandant. I noticed their perfume that they like to wear. I took notes from that and added a few of my own as a little like boop. And then now
Wow.
it's something that they can't put down and their subs can't put down. So they're sent training their hounds with it.
Oh, scent training. Scent training. Please expand on scent training.
So you can scent train your subs. I'm doing it to myself with Sir. And it's making once they smell something, they associate it with sexy time. So they start getting sexy. Like you smell it and you start to get wet, you know?
Yeah.
Because it reminds you of all the times you've gone sexy. That's how I'm clicker trained.
I think I might use that as a quote. Once they smell it, they are reminded of sexy time.
Yes.
That's a good quote. They're reminded of
I
sexy
mean,
time.
they're reminded of sexy time. I'm sorry. I
It's
just
true. It's great. That's we got more comments.
this
New
is me.
possibilities.
Oh.
Okay, but I'm in a scene and I start smelling like my grandfather's house. Scene canceled.
You're gonna smell like your grandpa's house.
People. Oh, see, Sunshine's geeking out. Musk, all of this.
Yes, I
It's
love it.
the commandant states it's crack to the house.
It's
Everyone is
gross.
obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
Obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
Please make some candles. I'll have them on the show. So, with your candles, are your candles can they be used in wax play? Can you drip their wax, their hot wax over somebody, or would
My
you not recommend it?
my mainline candles, the candles that I make my main line with, my decor candles are not body safe. They are made from straight beeswax and fragrance, which alters the melting point and it would burn you. So please do not use the decor candles as play candles. There are very specific waxes that you can use to
That was the
play
next
with.
question. That was the next
Yeah, I
question.
can
Which one?
segue right into that. Soy wax is actually one of the better waxes. I understand that there is a soy allergy. However, it is the one that is most recommended, and it is melting at it melts like at 100 degrees. And it's super low melt point. It's super soft. Soy isn't everything. It's not gonna hurt your skin. If anything, it's gonna nourish it a little bit. Um, and so the dermis starts experiencing first degree burns at around 120. So when you're playing with wax, you've got to note how the wax melts. So you get soy wax, and then you have like coconut wax, which is a little bit harder. So it has just enough little higher melting point, and then there's like palm wax, paraffin, which is a petroleum offshoot. It's a hotter one, but it can hold that color. So most candles you're going to see, play candles are a paraffin soy blend, whereas mine, I just use soy. And I'm working with other experiments to see what sort of colors can hold and pop. There's so much that goes into it. I could talk for hours about this, like literally, because I'm doing so much with it and experimenting.
That's
It's so much
awesome. Let's
fun.
talk. That's what we're here for.
It's
But
so
we have
much
a
yeah,
question.
yes.
Sunshine asks, "What's the least painful spot to do wax play for someone who's just starting out?"
Okay, so I always recommend when you are just starting out to gauge on, like, the back part of your arm and your wrist, and then if that's okay, then you can turn it over to the underside of your wrist, and I'm just gonna keep my fist in the way so you can't see what I'm talking about, but, you can I recommend doing it on your arms first, um, because that's usually where you're gonna feel the yes or the no, and it should feel like a minor sting, but not lasting. It should only last like a little bit, a little second, and then the wax will cool, and then you can keep dripping. But you really have to watch out for keeping it too close, like holding your candle too close to the skin, because the wax needs that second to drop in the air to cool down in order to not, cause damage to the dermis. Um, there's specific ways that you do this. I've been looking into it a lot and doing a lot of practice.
I noticed that there are many creative things you could do with wax in wax play. I was at a dungeon a couple years ago, and the person was lying on their stomach, but and on their back, a very large back, so they could write, and it basically it reminded me of like the pillow book. You could almost like write a paragraph with wax, and it had so many different
Yeah.
colors. You could write words and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
You can do
just
neon, you can do,
because
like
you're someone who loves wax and candles and makes candles, have you seen anything really um that really stood out, that really like kind of got your attention when it comes to wax play?
I've I admire a local candle maker that's really made steady and good and heavy hitting products. And the pictures that are made with their candles are always so great. And I'm just like, um they fit a really good niche. And um it's like there's that, and then what my one of my friends did at a tasting was really cool. They told me that they would layer the wax and then take a cookie cutter and cut part of that wax out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. I remember I remember being in the dorm. Shout out to Denise from this soft parade, or I'm sorry, sad parade. Um, yeah, we used to play with wax all the time. We'd get stoned and just just like have like plates and frisbees and just take different candles and just like make like just gloves and just like all over our arms, just like walk around the dorms like weirdos. You're like, rah! But the feeling of that, just how
It,
would you
it,
describe the feeling of wax on your flesh? How would you describe it?
so to me, it feels like a warm kiss. To me, it feels like
Yeah.
a especially with my soy candles. Now, we can talk about the mixes, which are a little bit higher in temperature for those who are a little more pain tolerant, like myself. Um, so I feel like it when depending on what you want, if you want just the temperature sensation, you go with the lower ones and it feels like a warm kiss. It feels like, a soothing like massage oil almost. And then if you want a little bit of bite, you go up and it's like a little sting. Just like a not quite like a bee, but just a pinprick. And it just keeps going down your body and that builds up that sensation.
Yeah. Wow. Sunshine asks, do you recommend any specific how-to resources for wax play?
There's actually quite a lot of really good information out there so far. From what I've seen, people are really the articles that I've seen are really been good for figuring out the basics. I myself wrote a how-to that I'm happy to share with anybody about your first wax play scene. It goes through different waxes, it goes through how to set up, it goes through the scene itself, questionnaire afterward. So I can be happy to post some links up after about where you can like reach out to get it.
Stan asks, when
S
it comes to wax plays, it's safe to use regular store candles or buy the special ones for this type of.
You gotta buy the body safe ones, please, please, because store candles are usually always paraffin and they usually have additives in them and they have the fragrance in them, which also like it messes with the melting point. It raises the melting point. It gets hotter. And so you increase your risk. And plus, not every fragrance is skin safe. Like you have to have specific fragrances made for skin, and you don't know if they put skin safe fragrances in that candle. Don't use them.
Don't use
Spend
them. You
don't
heard
use them.
you heard the director. Do what the director says. Now,
Do what the
okay.
director says.
I want to get my tarot cards read, but I love boobs at the same time. What do I do?
You come to me, baby, and I can read your tarot cards. I will be reading barrow cards, and it is topless tarot. It is a your destiny laid bare, and it's me in all of my glory reading you for filth from little pieces of cardstock.
Can you read my tarot cards now, or is that
If you want to, sure.
should that be private? I don't know. What do
Do
you
you
think?
want to get read for filth in front of every? I can pull one card for you if you'd
Pull one
like.
card. Why
Pull
not?
one card. Okay. Let's see if I can
Yay,
shuffle.
Danger says.
Oh, one just flew out. Oh, look what you got.
Death.
You got the 10 of coins, the
What
10
is
of
that?
pentacles. The 10 of pentacles is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a
Yeah.
new one. But you have 10 coins all in your hand. The pentacles are associated with earth, stability, wealth, finances, community, associated with the body. So this means you have what you have worked for. It's here for you now.
Yes. I'm
And you
talking
are
with
you are
you. This is what I work
exactly.
for.
Look at
This is
that.
what I work for. I seriously, I'm doing this because I love people like you. Thank you,
Oh,
Director Jez, for being on this. Let's
thank
get on with
you.
the topless tarot. So, oh, and it flew
Yeah,
out.
it did. Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah, we
Did
did.
y'all see that?
So you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, or no, you're in Texas. You're in Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
You're in Texas. The rest of the country, I think the media and everything like that may have a misconception of Texas. And from all the people I talk to, that the kink scene out there is thriving. People like the Commandant, you,
Yeah.
Carly DeVille, Nico Noir. So how would you personally describe the Texas kink scene? And how is it different than other parts of the country or world?
Well, I will say that I have most of my experience from the DFW scene. I did have a slight mix with some things in South Carolina when I was a little bit younger, but I wasn't there for any length of time to really digest. I will say the DFW kink scene is never a dull moment. Like there's always events going on. There's always something going on. Um there's a lot of community here. The people that I found really want to get shit done, right? And they just want to like I um I've made it kind of my mission to just like, find these people who really want, you know, to make stuff happen. Not everybody does, and that's okay. Some people just want to pay for an event and show up. We need people like that. But we also need the people like the commandant, like like Nico who came on here. Like, the people who are out there who are really showing and doing and being perceived, because that's one of our biggest powers is the ability to be perceived and to be represented.
Yes.
So I hope that if people have a misconception, that they know that it's not everybody. Because I will say, I'm from East Texas, so I can say that some of those misconceptions are not misconceptions at all. But
Understood. Let's talk about your collar. Let's talk about your collar. Some people have collar ceremonies. It's different for everybody. Every collar is different. Every collar symbolizes everything.
right, let me see if I can
And
find mine,
oh,
because
so
this
did
this
you?
is this is a day collar kind of thing.
Okay,
I made my collar. I handmade my collar. Um, it is green leather in my sir's favorite color. It is satin on the inside and a faux leather on the outside. And I made it for him as a symbol of my submission and how it was my gift to him. And he took it and he put it on me.
that is wonderful. That I love to see kinky people doing it
Oh,
together.
yes,
Yeah.
my leash. I made a leash
Oh,
too. See, it's a really nice dark green. and this is handmade, but my collar is just like this. So I was really into cosplay. I was really into fabricating. I was really into sci-fi makeup. So I have all the crafts.
Stan Vladimir asks, "Do you play D&D kinky sessions?"
I hella would. I would if I have a Pathfinder game that I've been trying to get off the ground for like a year, but I can't get anybody scheduled.
All
It
right,
pisses me
people.
off.
All right, people. We set the word out. Director Jez
Director
set it
Jess needs
out.
D&D friends. Please
Let's
come and
let's make it
play.
happen.
Or Pathfinder. Pathfinder. It's Pathfinder, not D&D. Sorry. Excuse me. I've
So
got
with all this imagination, right? And first of all, you're a goblin, right? So with you being a goblin and your love of being a witch, how is that? How have you used your witchery into everyday BDSM?
well, to me, a lot of witchery is spicy psychology. It's a way to frame your mind. It's a way to train your brain. Like shadow work with tarot cards was one of the things that got me into therapy because I was tired of being read for filth by some cardstock and I wanted an actual person to do it, you know? So,
Yeah.
it led me to a lot of truths about myself and authenticity because what a witch is someone who believes in their own power
Hmm.
because we have the power here. We're here now. We have the
Yes.
power. That's my thing.
Let's talk about events. Okay.
Yeah.
You walk into an event and see blank, and you immediately leave. What did you see?
I saw what would I just turn around as there's not like a lot, but
It could be funny,
if there's
serious,
excessive
multiple answers.
drinking, if there's like if people aren't watching where they're swinging, if there's not clear delineated like places to go, if you don't know what's happening, um like if someone just if you got it, if there's like weird stickers on the bathroom, we might leave.
Weird
um
stickers? Like what's it? What's an example of a weird sticker in the
oh,
bathroom?
just anti-queer stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, let's. I'm all about being positive. So you walk
Yeah.
into an event and see blank, and you immediately get excited. What do you see?
Oh yeah. If I see people just like if everyone is smiling, if the vibe is like I can't wait to see what happens next. And if there is clear marked people to go to, like you can tell who's running the place, you know? Because if there's a problem, you got to be able to find somebody right then. Like that is one thing that at Kinkify we're trying to make sure, finding better ways to make sure that our staff is viewable and perceivable and can be, grabbed at a moment's notice. Um, I really like when that happens. I like when there is um a place for the kink and a place for the socialization because sometimes you got to take breaks and they need the space. They need, just a little bit of separation.
The commandant says, "God, it irritates me to no end when people don't look where they are swinging in the dungeon or
He
party."
takes somebody's eye out. He straight up
Yeah,
takes
definitely.
somebody's eye out.
All right. So what was so? All right, throwing events and stuff like that. What are some mistakes that you've made in throw? Even if it's a little, even if it's a munch or something. Everyone makes mistakes. What are some
Everyone
things
makes mistakes.
that you've
Uh,
learned that you're like, shit, I'm not gonna do that again?
well, you've gotta market. You've gotta market, 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 market. You've gotta be on it. You've gotta be posting. You've gotta be, it's a lot because people are constantly being fed information all the time. Constantly. All the social media sites, all the blogs. So if you want to catch somebody's attention, you got to play the game and you got to
And
roll that
attention is
slot.
currency. And
Attention
attention
is
is
currency.
currency.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's very true. Yeah, scheduling a deal. That was
Coming
we
out says scheduling a Valentine's Day party in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth. Laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah.
yeah, because we tried and so much popped up and it just wasn't a good we had to reschedule. So
So
it happens.
that was mainly my bad. Covenant says about
You stop
Valentine's
it.
Day.
It's okay. It's okay.
So
It was not anyway, go ahead.
a lot of this is about celebrating kinky people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and events. What events have you been to that you feel not only changed your life, but may have helped change people in the community that were like really memorable, that were inspiring to you, that you want to talk
Um
about?
Well, I mean, okay, so to be fair, most of my kink journey has been in the within the confines of like Sir, and then for I was getting sober for a long time. And so I'm really getting out into these big events and being able to get my name out there and being able to be someone who is perceivable in the community. And I think I've been moving and shaking quite a bit because here I am. So I really went to it was Beyond Vanilla, and it was a great time. It was such a great time because it was the biggest thing that I had been to, and it was education, and it was vending, and it was a play party, and I got my ass beat, and I was so happy,
I got my
and
SD. I was so happy.
I was so happy. I was so happy. And it was the next year I was able to vend there too. And so I, attended twice, and both times I was like, these are my people. Just being in a space, and that's what I want to bring more than just one time a year.
Mm.
But with Kinkify, like I love the chance to get together with everyone for multiple days and just, be ourselves and share our knowledge. And because everything in the kink scene, when you're going with the vending, most like 99.9% of it is handmade.
Yeah,
Custom
yeah.
furniture,
Whips,
custom
paddles.
floggers.
Yeah,
Like
even the
it's all
dildos.
I know, right? Like people are hand making everything out here. It's
Yeah,
wonderful. Um
artisanal kink.
Artisanal kink, just a little bit of extra.
Mm.
I
Oh,
love it.
we have a whole conversation going on in the chat. Let's get to. Okay, we did. Oh, we have a question here from Aaron.
Okay.
Do you ever switch in the same day?
Oh, yes, I
So do I.
do.
Yeah, it's great.
I can
Please tell us all.
I order houseboy around, and he comes over a few times a week and does my dishes and does my chores, and he rubs my feet, and he kisses them just a little bit because he likes the feet, and I like to reward him because he does such a good job.
And what is
Um,
this reward? Defeat?
the feet and impact and cuddles and my eternal dedication as long as he abides by the contract. Because it is a relationship, it is a give and take relationship. It's not, you know, you've gotta reciprocate in some ways, but not everyone can reciprocate in the same way. So you've gotta figure out, how you can do the thing and
Definitely.
just do the
Feet,
thing.
feet, impact play, and cuddles. Feet, impact
Yes,
play, and cuddles. Let's talk about impact play. There's so many ways. There's paddles. There's whips. There's floggers. There's your
I'm
hands.
partial to
Uh,
floggers.
that's what I was going to ask you. Why do you like floggers?
I like floggers because especially the one that I have from, that was made by, House of Marcus. It's a really good brand, especially here in DFW. They're really heavy. And so I like to call my impact sessions my percussive maintenance because anytime that I've been just like, the goblin is just so bad. I just want to rip everybody apart. I just want to just, yeah. It just I have to get down and then they wail on me, and I'm just like, "Yes." And I have a release because I'm just a paid slut. and I feel better.
I like how you say I call my impact play toys percussive maintenance.
Yes,
So he said I like that.
percussive
Stan Vladimir.
maintenance.
Stan Vladimir says, which actor or actress would you like to have as a sub or a dom partner, and what would you do?
Oh,
Instead of actor,
um,
anybody famous.
oh my God. There's like um I would get on my knees for Charlize Theron and Blake Lively, if that makes a thing. Many people, but they're like my just like is some roles that they've played, just that something about the characters and their bearings just make me just want to be like bend the knee and be like, yes, I
How
will do
about
whatever you want.
Charlize Theron as Eileen Wardros in Monster? What about that?
If it look, I'm down with a lot of things.
She's
So
magnificently beautiful, incredibly talented.
yes.
Yes, I do not blame
And
you
then
at
I
all.
would I would want a top Gerard way from MCR. I'm sorry. I'm a damn emo. I
Yeah, I noticed that
what are you gonna
too.
do?
Shout out to the Commandant once again and Nico Noir. We did a show, Depeche Mode for Dungeons, which is a show I'm
Mhm.
actually really proud of. Hopefully, we're going to
Yeah.
do other bands as well. Um, what is it about that kind of goth, industrial, cold wave style? Why do you think it resonates with so many people in the Kink community? But also, why does it resonate with you?
So I've always wanted to be goth industrial, emo, alternative. I've always been attracted to it. Like that's what I wanted to dress like. But mama said no, I had to wear my preppy sister's clothes, and that just ruined everything for me. Like I was not allowed to wear more than one article of black clothing at a time. Why are you
I
doing
just
that?
wore it anyway.
I don't, but there was a lot going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
no, I know what
like
you mean. Everyone's different. My
once I
parents were
started getting
very
my own
much
money.
into it. Yeah, once you start getting your own money, they can't do anything. They can't
Yeah.
say anything. They can say it, but not do anything.
Sorry, mom, it's not a damn phase.
So with that being said, music comes into play. And so
Yeah.
what music do you like? What like there's certain songs that are triggering, just like sense, right? You get it.
Mhm.
Like you hear a bass line, you hear a rhythm or something like that, the low end,
Oh god,
the
I
sub
can't
does
listen.
something. What are those
There's
songs?
so the one song that I can't listen to that just makes me cry every time is "Shatter Me" by, Lindsey Sterling and Hailstorm. Um, it's, it's just somebody make me feel alive and shatter me, and I listened to that over and over and over at one of my lowest points because it was just a cry for help. And I can't listen to that song no more because I hear that and I'm just like, but
I know
the
exactly how you feel. I
and
wrote
then
the coolest way to kill yourself. There are certain songs I can't listen to anymore that
yeah,
I hold so dear.
I couldn't listen to my Pearl Jam for a while because my ex-husband loved it for a long time and played it all the time. And so I had to let that memory fall away. But now I listen to Pearl Jam 10 like all the time. And it's one of my comfort albums just because I like the way the voice sounds, I like the way the music, I like the messages. Um I'm I'm really into less
Like
lyrical.
speaking of Pearl Jam, that song Black. I remember going to college, which right when that album came out, and like my roommates just listened to that song Black over and over again. Like they like turn off all the lights and just like be in the dark. Just sit like the song's still on. No, it's just played on repeat.
This is
2 days of
why.
this.
Why? Why? Are you neurodivergent? Do you need something else? Are you trying to do something with this? What is going on? Yes, I have I have it. Like, I that's what I sing at karaoke. Um, I
Black by
do a
Pearl
really
Jam?
good job. Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
So music plays a role in aftercare as well, but
It
let's
can,
talk
yeah.
about aftercare. Typical people think like aftercare is just soothing, You know, just maybe like just a soothing touch and just like the calmness of it. But there's just so much more than
It's
that.
so much
So
more.
for you, what makes aftercare special? Either you being the one giving aftercare or you giving aftercare to somebody else. How do you make it
So
special?
when I'm getting aftercare, and that's usually from Sir, and it's usually after I've been broken apart. Like we have given me like so many uh explosions that I am just like, and so he's gotta, put me back together. And it's the sense of someone knowing you so much and trusting someone so much that you can let them take you to that point and you trust them to bring you back.
Yes, and putting the bond in bondage, so to speak.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. That is wonderful. So let's talk about your ultimate kinky fantasy. Let's brainstorm for a minute. You have you have unlimited resources. You can go anywhere in the world. Anybody, everybody you want will be there. What do you do?
Oh, it's kinkify, baby. It's kinkify just on a grand scale. It's a place where there's a little bit for everybody. It's a place where you can just come and there's like, oh, you want to go and do like the hardcore stuff? Well, that's over here. Oh, you just want to come and do some education, talk with some people? Well, that's over here. You have it. I want to be the hub. I want to be the place where people know they can come to be themselves, you know? And
Yes.
if I had everything, I wouldn't, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to aim for any sort of like notice for people. I just want to do my shit.
Yeah, I am the same way. We are definitely on the same page. All right, rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related. They don't have to be kink related, but they can be. Recommend a movie.
Recommend a movie. Pacific Rim.
Oh, okay. All right. Recommend a book.
Um, The Dragon Riders of Pern.
Recommend a
It's what I'm
song.
reading right now. Huh?
Nice, nice. Oh, check out Exodai. Um, yes, there's coming soon. Check out the YouTube. We're gonna have the author of Exodai on soon, so shout out to that.
Ooh. Shout out.
Yes, it's a story about a woman who from America goes to falls in love with a woman in Japan and becomes there's torture involved. I'm not finished with it. I just started it actually. I just that's the
Wow.
first couple pages. But yeah, there was sexual torture and stuff like that, and BDSM, and her in the world
Well,
of
that
in
sounds
Japan. Yeah,
like
it's pretty good so far.
I'm just going
I
with what
just
I'm
started.
currently
Yeah, so
reading.
recommend a song.
Recommend a song. Oh, what is it? It's by White Flag by Riggs, I think. I'm raising my white flag. It's too late
Rec-
to go back. Sorry.
it's all right. Recommend a meal.
Chicken Alfredo, baby.
Nice, nice. Okay. Um, word association game. I'm gonna say a kink or a fetish or something like that. You say
And
the
I'm just
first.
gonna say something weird. I just know it. Oh no.
Good. I want you to. There's no wrong answer. All right. I like that. I like this is the weird shit I like. Uh, seriously, we're kinky people. We are weird. So I'm gonna say a word or a phrase. You say the first thing that pops in your head. Okay. So
Okay. Okay.
if I say chastity, you might say lock. But if I say chastity and you're thinking of Pearl Jam, you could say Pearl Jam, which kind of is fitting if you think about it. Get it? See it
It's
anyway.
a
Uh,
Pearl Jam. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
So basically what I'm saying is there's no wrong answer. Okay. Um, oh,
let's go.
second rule is we don't kink shame. So if I say something, please don't say anything like just say it's not my thing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. Ready. All right. French maid outfits.
Hot.
Chastity.
Dicks.
Pegging.
Uh, Big Clifford dildos.
Garter belts.
My favorite fetish that I love to wear all the time.
Yeah, I got a thing for garter belts. I'm wearing garters right now.
I
Yeah.
love that for you.
And
I
lockers.
really love that for you.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm locked in chastity too. Actually, all the interviews I do, I got like all under this. Yeah, totally. Um, all right. Oh, okay. Back to the rapid fire. Wax play,
Super kinky
knife play.
and
Oh,
not my thing.
fire play.
Fireplay is beautiful and hot and just like yes, yes.
Face
I
slapping.
face slapping. That's not for me.
The daddy baby girl dynamic.
The daddy baby girl dynamic. I associate that with the pacifiers,
Okay. Adult babies.
diapers.
All right. Diaper play.
Not my thing.
Splashing.
I'm splashing.
Splashing like with food, messy food, gooey
Oh,
food.
that's just a Friday night, baby.
Oh, the commandant says I need an episode where Nick goes full committal in a French maid costume. Okay, we'll
Yes.
see about that.
See, this is where I know I'm doing this horribly, but I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay. All right. Sex magic.
Uh, Yes, that means hard-ons.
All right. Human sacrificing. Consensual role play. Human sacrificing.
I dream. I dream about it.
Oh, really? Okay. You dream
Yeah,
of
I
human
kind of dream
sacrifice.
about it. Just
So
a
let's
little
wait.
bit.
We're gonna go down this rabbit hole. All right, when I think of that, I think of nighttime in a forest or a cave. Probably like a stump of a tree, like in South Park with the wooded animal. Someone being laid on top of the tree.
Laid on top of the stone table.
So this is what
Do
this
not
is my
cite
this is
the
what
deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written.
this is my imagination. When you just said human sacrifice, well, I said human sacrifice, and you're like, yeah, it's my dream. This is what I think of. I think of you and the commandant, probably Nico in the woods, right? And there's like fires and there's candles all on like things, and tiki torches being
Can
burned.
we make this? Okay, we need to make this a fucking photo shoot.
There's
Me,
a big.
the commandant, and Nico. We gotta make this a damn photo shoot and send it
You
to
can
Nick.
sacrifice me. Shit, you can
Please
do it.
come
I'll do it
down.
for the
We would
show.
love to sacrifice you. I would love to sacrifice you. I know exactly how to do it too because I used to be special effects makeup.
Oh, I love that. So,
And guess
all right.
what?
So,
You can. Sorry.
no, we're going to talk about special. Oh, okay, so we'll talk about special effects, but let's do the human sacrifice. So, would you want like a big? Would it be blood or fire, or what would be the technique of actual being?
Blood. I did the draining of the blood is very ritualistic, and
Exsanguination.
so um,
It's called
and then
exsanguination. Yes.
yes, so I just there's it's like when you're doing that, and then you gotta wait and don't. I'm a writer. That's why I know all this. Um, I'm a so that's why FBI. That's why I know all this. I'm just a writer. I like to write stories,
Yes.
and I do. I really do, and I have
Yeah,
some posted.
the Kink
And
community. It's all about we're based on imagination. All
uh,
these people, I talk to so many people, and they're living a life online, right? And in
mhm.
like for example, I'm not going to say any names, but like the sissification stuff, locked in chastity 24 hours a day, being whored out. That's a fantasy. It can't like it's not for some people it is, but for a lot of some people I know who live that life, they live it as much as possible. They can't live it
But you
24/7 because
gotta
of
be
practical reasons.
sustainable.
Yes,
Sustainable.
and it's all in here too. It's like it's in here.
You
You know what I mean?
gotta believe it.
The
If you don't
commandant
believe
says
it,
we were supposed to have a photo shoot with a human sacrifice, anyways.
we were. We totally were. But
So
things happen.
special effects. All right, I'm fascinated with special effects. I love horror movies, right? As the practical effects of horror movies. So when it comes to special effects and stuff like that, what is the stuff that really impresses you?
I really like the horror makeup. So I won an award from the Art Institutes for best blood, guts, and gore. working on one of my cousin who was an alumni, the horror film race. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's called Static. And so I was able to win the blood, guts, and gore category. And I love being able to be like shocked. I want to make it seem like, oh my God, their arm got cut off. Or oh my God, like where you really gotta like, is that real?
Yeah.
It just
When I
that
think of
gets me
special
every time.
when I think of special effects, I think of The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Rob
Yes.
Bottin did the special effects. That is, to this day, it's still amazing.
It's
It's
one
mind.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, how do they do that?
people are
I
they
highly recommend. Go watch The Thing. John Carpenter's The
yes,
Thing. Kurt Russell's in it. The
yes.
special practical effects are amazing. And this, I knew this was coming. Stan Vladimir, our graphic designer. Stan Vladimir, did I hear special effects? That's one of my dream jobs ever since I was exposed to behind the scenes in movies. And then, of course, the Commandant says Italian horror special effects are also insane.
I bet.
Dario Argento, shout out to Dario Argento.
Oof.
Dario, give me a call. All right, we're wrapping it up. So this is a positive show. What I'm trying to do is trying to document
Yeah.
kinky people, and hopefully it inspires somebody. Hopefully it gives some kind of insight. But this is what we have, is this document, and I want to keep
Yeah.
it positive. So I said it before, we were talking about this. How has kink and BDSM culture, how has it saved your life?
So the express purpose of boundaries and learning boundaries for myself sparked everything. And in kink and BDSM, that's encouraged in the right spaces. And without those boundaries, you can't take care of yourself. If you don't protect you, then you're not going to be able to show other people how to protect you too. And so those boundaries need to be clear and expressed. And that and informed consent, knowing what's going to happen to me beforehand, instead of being like, oh, yeah, do whatever you want. And then you're like, oh, shit, what am I getting into? You know what's going to happen. You can play in that sandbox and everything's going to be fine. It gave me a sense of authenticity and how I
Yeah,
could really be myself.
I I cannot agree with you more. I really felt before kink, I always had a longing to kind of become. You know what I mean? And I think kink
Something.
really
I
helped
wanted
me.
to become something.
Yeah, yeah, longing to become something, anything. You know, to find, like, I felt like I didn't have an identity almost.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that really truly means something to me. So, another thing I'm doing this is because I want to keep the connection amongst people. I want to keep the underground vibe going. So,
Right?
platforms, we're being deplatformed. OnlyFans is changing. Twitter's now X. You know, we're always going to be kinky, but there's not always going to be the same place to be kinky at, especially on the internet.
No.
So what are you
Right.
using these days now? And also, just in general, how can kinky people help each other out?
So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm just, a lot of it is having to censor your words, playing by the rules. But a lot of the other apps, there's, different ones that you can actually make groups on and things like that. I use a lot of the kinky Facebook, and I use a lot of the just different things, but most of it is through like my Discord. Um, that's where I've been having a lot of give and take, and where I found that community, and it's our little corner of good vibes in
Mm,
DFW. So one of
nice.
those things is just making those friends and being able to explore your boundaries and say your boundaries. It's okay. It's okay to say your boundaries.
Oh
And if
yeah.
people don't like your boundaries, then they can go somewhere else. And it's not their fault and it's not your fault. And you can just say, we don't mesh and go be, and it's fine.
I also think that people shouldn't kind of just give up on somebody just because they have a kink that you're not interested in. You know what I mean? There are people are very deep and very complicated, and you
Mhm.
never know by just dismissing someone because you're not into that kink. You never know. 10 years or 5 years, a year from now, you may be really into that kink.
You
You'd be
may be really
surprised.
into that, or it may be somebody's way to deal with trauma. It may
So
be
let me ask
somebody's
you
way to
this.
cope. So, like,
Let me
yeah,
ask you this.
I'm with
The
you.
kink rabbit hole goes deep, right? There are things I'm into now that I never thought I'd be. At first, I like panties and I like women in garter belts.
Right.
Now, oh my God, there's chastity devices and French maid outfits and pegging and wax
It's
and
great.
and
It's so
all this stuff.
fun.
It's great. And it just goes deeper, right? It just spirals down this deeper hole. So um where is it taking you?
So I started not thinking I was a masochist at much at all because people had done it wrong before. And now I am a sparkling masochist. I love it so much. Um, and it, um, I just, yes, I got a brain, my goblin went, wee. So
Now I'm a sparkling masochist.
and
That's
now
great.
I'm
I'm
a
gonna quote
sparkling
that.
masochist. So I love it. And the rabbit hole goes down, down, down. And I want to do more things. And I want to go more into like full bondage and like um, different face cages and being locked in a dog crate and, all this fun stuff. So,
So
yeah.
what's the longest you've been locked or being or fully restrained where you can't move at all?
Not very long. I would like to do longer just because me and my sir like to err on the side of caution. He
Of
likes
course.
to make sure that I'm safe,
Hmm.
and I call him my smother hen because he cares so much. And he's my smother hen. So
That's wonderful. So where do you want to take? Where does your path? We're going on this path. I am too. I mean, we know a lot. We have experience, but there's so much more to learn, right?
there is so much more to learn.
Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
I want to just be a what I like doing is facilitating. That's really like been a joy to me was being able to facilitate Kinkify, being able to facilitate, my group, North Texas Kink, being able to facilitate a space for people and it shows me that I have this power to create something and to believe in something and to have that future and
Yeah.
to have that just it I want Kinkify to grow and I want to continue this path of being a hub.
Director Jazz, you have the fire in you. It's great. You love having people come together, and that's what kink is all about.
I
Thank
do.
you
I really do.
so much, Director Jazz, for coming on. Thank you, Commandant, for making this happen, and thank you, Texas and Dallas Fort Worth. So, of course, Nico Noir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for
Thank
this
you so much.
wonderful
This
night.
was a joy. This was a joy.
So, how can we get in touch with you, Director Jazz? So, let's say. Let's say I don't know, Eddie Vedder calls me up and says, I got to start a kink event. I need an acoustic show at a sex dungeon. It has to be at a sex dungeon in Texas. How do I
You can
tell them to
eat.
get in touch with you?
Well, look, my group has an email. You can email northtexaskink@gmail.com. And I'll get it. So you can email me there. And there's also the Kinkify Texas has an Instagram. Just search for Kinkify Texas, and I'm on Instagram too as Jezebelle Jones Witch. It's like Switch Witch Jezebelle Jones Witch. It's a play on words that I was entirely too proud of for myself. Um,
It's a solid play.
I
It's a
just
solid play.
that's just what I do. So I just look. Not everything is super serious, and that's where I
Yes.
think some people get tripped up in because
Yes.
life is a joke. It's all made up.
Yes,
The
it's
points
so
don't
absurd.
matter.
It's so absurd. Exactly.
Life,
If you're not
life
laughing,
is
you're
so
not having a good
absurd.
time, and therefore you're not living. You know what I mean? So we need laughter in the life, and we need to be silly.
Exactly.
Join the
And
Discord
that's me.
server. How can we join the Discord server?
Well, it's on Discord. So if you go on Discord and you should search for North Texas Kink. If it is specifically for people in North Texas, so if you do come to North Texas to events, you are welcome. We do value our out of state, out of towners, but that was so hick. Oh my God. Excuse me, my Texas was really coming out. Um, and we value people of all walks of life, and I would like to open the doors for people who want to just see something.
Nice. Thank you, Director Jez. Thank you for
Thank
everything.
you so
Everybody,
much.
please support your kinky friends. We do have a Patreon. There's a
Yes.
GoFundMe. I'm having some health issues and some issue. I wouldn't ask if I didn't need it. There's a GoFundMe, and we have events coming up, and we have more shows coming up. It's going to be great. Contact me, yourkinkyfriends.com. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Patreon. Join the Discord. We have a Discord server. It's kind of dead, but still make it lively.
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, Patreon. But Twitter, Nicholas Tanek. I have 3 books. The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself. Chip Black Nail
That's a
Polish.
powerful title, to be
Oh, thank you.
honest.
It's a saying that she would say all the time. Basically, it's like, I'm going to write this book even if it kills me, or I'm going to love you even if it kills me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going
Powerful.
to live our way even if it kills me. And that's what kinky people do. So the coolest way to kill
We're gonna
yourself is
be
through love.
us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Director Jess. This was an absolute inspiring episode. Thank you very much. So the spell has been made. The cards have been read. So everybody, you know the rules. Be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Take care.